Hello, and welcome to the Watching Now podcast from Couch Soup. We are watching we actually already watched it, I guess.
Mhm.
We
Mhm.
watched the finale of Alien Earth Season 1. And I think that's a very good thing to say at the end of this. It's
Yeah.
it's Season 1.
Uh-huh.
But we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about all the spoilers in a bit. But first, we're going to do some non-spoiler reviews. But before we do that, I need to introduce our crew. And today we have Katie.
Hello.
And you have me. I'm Ian. I'm hosting. I've already flubbed my lines about 5 times. This is going to be a good hosting day.
Yeah,
Still not.
yes, I'm just nodding.
Yeah. Without further ado, let's just go straight into it. Let's talk about it without any spoilers. What you thought about the finale of Alien Earth Season 1. Katie,
What did I think?
what did you think of this finale?
How do I put this properly? I enjoyed watching it. I was also kind of annoyed. It was a very strange experience because I finished the episode going, well, that was pretty good. But also, uh,
I get that feeling.
yeah, I wanted an ending. Well, we'll talk about specifically how it ended in a bit, but it wasn't what I was expecting. And we probably should have put this together sooner.
I think we had one of these discussions earlier on in the
Mm.
season and we just didn't stress it enough.
No.
My feelings are very similar to yours, I would say. I feel very, like, stealing one of your adjectives from earlier on in the season,
Hmm.
unsatisfied with
Ah,
this finale.
good stuff. Good.
Thanks.
Nice. Well done.
Callback. Um, we should have put this together because
Mm.
this is a finale of a season 1. This is
Hmm.
Disney. We were always going to open it up. No one has ever said that this is a limited series, right?
And
Literally.
yet,
And yet, it seems like my expectations were of this is basically a limited series or an anthology series.
hmm
I think most of the people around the world thought we're going to get a definitive ending to these arcs here, and we're in Disney territory. This is definitely a season 1 finale setting up a season 2.
yes.
And that's without spoilers, but do not go into this episode thinking everything's going to end with a little nice little bow. It's not going to happen.
No!
Having said that, apart from a few annoyances that I still have with some certain decisions, I just enjoyed it
I
as
enjoyed it.
an
It was the thing.
episode, you know?
I was watching it going, this is a good episode. But also, what's going on?
Yeah. I watched this episode twice.
Yeah.
Once with the expectations that I had,
Mm.
and then once again to say, "Oh, I know is this a Disney Plus series? Well, it's an
Hmm.
FX series, but a Disney Plus series setting up a second series. How do I feel about it now?" And
Hmm.
I enjoyed the ending a lot more the
Mm.
second time when I knew that it wasn't going to be over at the
Mm.
end of the episode. You get me?
Yes, I do get you. I do get you entirely. And I'm also a big proponent for watching things twice when you had expectations and they're kind of clouding your actual reading of the material,
Yeah.
if you will. So that was a good idea. I did not watch it twice. I only watched it the once. But I just was sitting there going like, oh, this one's got a source, you know? There's been a couple of episodes in the season where I'm like, ooh, it's got like there's a vibe going on that's like really good. And then there's been a couple that haven't had that, which is how you can tell that the other ones did. But this one did have that kind of like there was something in it that felt very like good to watch, even though I was sitting there going, so we're not finishing. We're not fin no. Okay, cool.
No. I, d-
Okay,
I do think perhaps it was a little bit safe in some regards as well.
I could agree with that. Yeah,
I think we're talking around a load of stuff here,
yeah.
but the general consensus is it left us unsatisfied because it sort of wasn't a limited series, which it never
Mm.
was.
No.
but it felt like it was gonna be. And
Mm.
that's the kind of tone that it had for the whole season, that it was going to be a limited series.
Yeah.
We talked around it. Let's go into the spoilers. The
Spoilers.
spoilers time from now. Let's go straight to the ending because like it's the biggest thing, right? We end this season with a shot of Wendy and the Lost Boys going, "We will rule."
Try to take over the world.
And everybody that has been ruling them for the whole season is in a cage, and there's stuff outside about people coming into the.
Mm.
It's just setting up a new season where it's the Lost Boys versus the invading forces of Utani, right?
Mm.
And I'm sat there going, wait, 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 what? What? What do you mean like the end of Prodigy hasn't happened? Like
No.
everybody hasn't died? What the fuck is going on here? There should
Well,
be at least 12 deaths here.
I would say it seems like the majority of the people on the island are dead.
Except for the important ones, probably.
Yeah. It looks like all of the sort of NPCs are dead.
The
Put it that
ones with
way.
the barks that you hear in video
Hmm.
games with like
Hmm.
over there, that
Hmm.
sort of things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're all
pretty
dead.
much everybody dead.
Hmm.
Maybe a couple of the Joe's team are still alive. It didn't seem like Jane killed the guy, but we didn't see them at the end, so that's unconfirmed. But you've got left on the island. You've got the Lost Boys.
Hmm.
You've got Morrow,
Hmm.
Atom,
Hmm.
Sylvia, Kirsch,
Hmm.
a
Oh
broken
gosh.
Kirsch,
He's not
and
doing well.
the boy K.
Hmm.
Um,
Boy K does make it sound like some kind of like weird name for cat.
it does.
It does.
The boy K, just a little micro dosing K, you know.
Just think it's a Boy K.
It didn't end with everybody dead. Didn't
No.
end with the eyeball in Boy Cavalier.
I'm
It
so disappointed.
it didn't end with his feet getting acided off or by the little bugs. It didn't end with everybody getting their comeuppance. It is ended in a place where it can like jump off from next season.
I don't really have anything to add. The only thing I wrote was, okay, and you're leaving it there. That's
Yes,
the end. Cool. All right then. That wasn't a resolution. I wanted an ending. I guess they're leading into a season two. That's basically my whole thoughts on the whole ending part of it. It's very, it does feel very Lost Boys, which is quite fun. Of like, we're in charge now. Yay.
the inmates
Uh,
run the asylum.
yeah, it very much so. Which I did enjoy to a point. I just really hope that this comes, I want it to come crashing down. I really like these kids, to be clear. It's not that I want bad things to happen to them. I just feel like at this point, Wendy feels very overpowered.
She is in God mode. Like she has control over monsters. She has control over technology.
Hmm.
She has control.
She's just in control, and I want to be on board with that as much as possible because who doesn't like a girl boss? But my thing, I just find the more it's happening, the more annoyed I'm getting at the fact that she can control the aliens so well.
Yeah.
Especially as it turns out the other one's just fine. He's in on it too.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see about that. Again, I still have loads of doubts about that whole relationship. I mean, I shouldn't after this episode, which is
Mm.
literally going and then just like pointing at people to kill. I shouldn't have doubts for that, but I still do.
I don't want it to I don't want her to get to a point where it's like she's the coolest person in the world and nothing can ever go wrong for her because she's really in control and she's Wendy and she's like the most important person in the world and I'm like okay but like I
Mm.
do need her to have some flaws and comeuppance and all this other stuff but I do think it's going to be a thing of like absolute power corrupts absolutely probably.
I mean, Joe's already having doubts, I think. I'm choosing to think of this season as like an arc
Mm.
because it's a
It is.
season.
Yeah.
But like it from where we started to the where we have ended,
Hmm.
A lot of shit has
Yeah.
happened and a lot of turnaround. They started to be at the point where they are controlled. They have no say in anything.
Hmm.
They follow orders like it's their idea. And
Hmm.
now everybody's
Hmm.
autonomously thinking. And now it's the boy Kay and Morrow who all have to live with those choices in the past.
Do you think everybody's living autonomously, or do you think Wendy's living autonomously and everybody's just sort of jumped ship because she sounds more interesting right now?
Personally, I think that they've swapped one cult leader for another,
That's the vibe I'm getting.
and she is very well. She isn't Boy Cavalieri in the flourishes,
No.
but she has also twisted the Peter Pan story for her will
Mm.
to get them on board as well
Yeah.
in that cage. Wendy
Which
Darling was the one, you know.
is not to say, I don't want to suggest that she's the same as or worse than the boy Cavalier,
Oh yeah, it's
because
not.
she's not.
No.
I'm just wary. I want to be wary about it. But also, I think that's more interesting,
Hmm.
specifically because I don't think it's great. I don't want her to be like completely like benevolent, I want her to be a little bit messed up by the whole thing. I mean, she's already throwing the aliens at people just to be
Yeah.
like, you could be done now.
I mean, you could say that she has caused like
Far
tens
more
of
damage.
yeah, tens of deaths at least in
Mhm.
the maybe even the hundreds at the moment. Lots of soldiers gone by this xenomorph.
I like the idea of her being a little bit not evil, but morally questionable.
Hmm.
Which I do think they're setting up. So that is nice. Yeah, I guess I'm just wary. I don't want her to be like super all powerful and unstoppable and all this sort of stuff.
So let's segue into Marcy then. Marcy
Mm,
Wendy.
Marcy.
We have said that she is super all powerful. She
She's
has
just got fucking
shown.
superpowers.
I love some of that. Like
Mm,
I loved her fucking with the Merc team, not the
hmm.
Merc, like
God, that
who
made me laugh so much because I honestly, for half a second, I was like, why the fuck does this elevator have a self-destruct? Oh, I see.
exactly just fucking with them. It was such a childish thing to do to say, all right, hang on, let's just put some flashy lights in and say it's going to self-destruct.
Self-destruct sequence initiated. This elevator will explode in 30.
And everyone's going to believe it. And then she's like, I'm done now. I'm finished with you guys.
I think what I did really enjoy about this whole episode was this idea of her going, kind of turning around and being like, we're ghosts. We're gonna haunt this bitch. And then they did, and it was kind of awesome.
What they did to Sylvia was like the worst, I
Yeah.
think.
Like, what if we psychologically torture everybody here?
Yeah,
I don't know.
just
Just for
replaying
fun.
videos.
Mhm.
Dude, how much of those videos were doctored, do you think? Because like
I don't know. The one
that
with yeah, with the one with her was like Jesus. All
yeah,
right.
we're going to be okay, right? Right?
Right.
Right?
Right. Yeah, no, but I did really enjoy the little ways because she said, what do ghosts do? And my first thought was disappear. I thought they were going to run away. And then it was like, no, 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 we're haunting and we're actually going to take over. And I'm like, oh, that okay. Yeah, no, I can see that.
They
Yeah.
haunt houses, says
They haunt
Smee.
houses. Okay, I was going to say speaking of Smee, but unless you want to say some more things about Wendy.
One's on what she does to Atom.
So, speaking of Atom, I had no idea he was a synth.
No.
That
Where?
was pretty good, actually.
Yeah. And I thought they teased it quite well in that episode as well. When Cavalier was talking about the synth that he made for to become his dad. We'll talk about that story in a sec as well.
Oh,
Like
do you know I didn't put that together.
because he was sort of finishing the story, and you could see the silhouette of Atom in Joe's room hiding,
Oh
and
shit.
he's a distinguished man to be
Oh
his
shit.
father.
I did not put that together at all. That's very good.
So they teased it, but I also didn't get it until the second time of watching. Like
Okay,
so,
I feel less bad about missing it then.
yeah. So yeah, I didn't get it first time either. But so when
That is
he
so good.
yeah, when he throws Wendy across the room, I'm like, what? What the fuck? He's
Yeah.
just a human. He shouldn't be able to toss Wendy like a rag
Uh-huh.
doll.
No, no, it was literally in that moment I went, "Oh fuck, he's a synth." Oh. Everything about him makes so much more sense now.
Yeah, it's so good that they in the Teng non-reveal at in
Mhm.
the episode 5 where he wasn't actually a synth, he was just fucking weird. This guy has been filling us that he's human for the whole season, and then he turns out to be a synth.
Yeah. No, that's really good. Also, most of my notes are just me yelling in all caps. I don't actually have any coherent thoughts in my notes. So when it came up to Atom, it just said, "Oh, Atom's a synth." Okay.
I mean, again, Wendy being all powerful here and say and can control synths now, like at least their bodies. But I assume that that would extend to minds at some point, because
Oh,
like it's a synthetic mind as
I
well.
guess so. That's terrifying. Um, I did like it in the moment because I was like, I was like, oh, I don't really want her to do a fight right now. So the
Mhm.
fact that she just sort of went stop and he did stop and it was like, oh,
Yeah, she did
oh,
the Chris Pratt Velociraptor
she
meme.
did.
Hey, hey! What did I just say?
And it works
It
for
did.
her. I thought that was just a very effective moment, generally speaking. There's something about watching a person having to play like unnaturally still that I always kind of enjoy, like the eyes moving by
Mm,
themselves and he can't do anything about it. In fact, she just sort of tipped him over. Like that is enjoyable. Um, it also does make me sad because I had wanted the eyeball to go into Atom, which is not going to happen now because he's not real. Well, he's real, but he's not a person,
yeah,
human person.
it would
He
be a
does not
different
have
connector, I
regular.
would
He
guess.
does
Yeah.
not have regular biology, which is a little disappointing. But I digress. I'm having trouble. I'm kind of like a lot of the stuff in the episode. I was like, that was kind of cool. That
Mm,
was kind of cool as well. So I'm having trouble kind of putting anything into real thoughts.
yeah.
So you should talk now.
Okay, I will. You said that like most of the episode, you were like, "Oh, I'm happy with." I'm pretty happy with most of it as well.
Mm,
We'll get to Xenodog in a bit, which I'm not that happy about. But can we talk about that weird opening? Like the opening to this, it just felt like a time skip where we didn't need a time skip. It was just like a load of exposition to say,
right.
"Oh, it's been." 7 hours since the Xenomorph started ripping to shreds all of our
Yeah.
people.
I mostly my big thing was, oh, Nibs is alive.
Yeah, and that too. Like I was 100% thought that she was dead.
Yep, I thought she was dead.
She got shot
I
twice and then electrocuted like by Joe at the end of last
I
episode. I
really
thought that would
thought
be
I
it.
thought like because in the moment I went, oh, the electricity probably didn't kill her, but then the way she kind of like stuttered around, I was like, oh, I guess she's dead. That
Mm,
was kind of where I got to, and then it came back and it was like, oh, she's alive.
yeah.
Okay, not that I'm entirely complaining because we
And,
got more of Nibs being scary in this episode, which I did
Nibs be
enjoy a lot.
crazy.
I love. I think Nibs is becoming one of my favorites.
I mean, she's predictably unpredictable, I
Yeah,
guess.
it's but she's like so. I think the moment she was able to be like, okay, I get to just kill people now. I'm like, I love it. Go for it, Nibs.
They said in that opening as well that not all non-personnel or non-essential personnel had been evacuated. And
Hmm.
we didn't see any of that. So hopefully it's not like, I mean, I'm guessing there's loads of scientists and stuff that
Mm.
have just gone.
Well, the mold scrubbers are still there
That's
apparently.
what I was about to say. Mold
So,
scrubbers are essential personnel,
mhm,
and we know that now.
yep, which means that the mold must be important. Season 2, mold.
Or did they just keep them around for plot where they could do a like a fake out jump scare with the Joe's team.
No, I think they're. I think the mold is going to come back at some point. I think it's been like a season-long setup, and it's going to turn out that the mold's actually really bad. And maybe it'll start infecting people, and that will be fun for me. I don't actually think that any of that's going to happen, but
Um,
I'm hoping.
I wonder if that mold scrubber survived because like everyone else seems to be dead, and it just
No, I think he made it.
still doing his job as well,
Yep.
not like panicking or anything.
I
Just
think he's
like
just
I'm
minding
just
his own business,
yeah,
scrubbing the mold.
don't mind me, I'm just scrubbing.
But when we sing this song, the day don't seem so long. Scrub, scrub.
He He's got a job to do. He's just he's in his lane. He's minding his business. He's not getting in anybody's way.
Yeah.
He's doing his job.
So Sylvia was visiting Graves at all at
Hmm.
this time as well,
Hmm.
and the Xenomorph turns up and scares her.
Hmm.
I've got to think she was petrified, but I've got to think that Wendy told her not to kill, told it not to kill
Mm,
Sylvia
I
because
guess so. I kind of wanted to see it happen though. I was a
yeah,
bit disappointed. I was like, "Are we going to kill Sylvia in the first 5 minutes? That'd be fun." Oh,
I
all
mean yeah,
right.
that is the other thing about this episode because yeah, Sylvia's alive. We've gone through everybody.
Mm,
Everybody's basically alive. The
mm.
only consequential death, and I'm putting that in like air quotes really, is Siberian. It was a cool death. Don't get me wrong.
I literally wrote Siberian got eaten by a plant. Yay.
I mean, it's that's comeuppance for being a traitorous little bitch
Yeah.
from last
That's what
episode.
you get for bootlicking, frankly.
Yeah. Let's transition to that quickly. The flower.
Mm.
I've seen a bit of buzz online saying it was kind of underwhelming. The flower.
I don't think they all needed to be whelming. That's kind of my opinion on it, because otherwise you start getting stuff that is really going to take over. And I think it just being a flower that eats people is kind of fun.
Is it a flower? I
Well,
know
no,
it's a
no,
monster,
it's
but
not really
like,
a flower. It's a plant. It's
mhm.
it has like a little thing on the end, which I think you could call a flower.
But
Yeah, because I think that would, if you were to think about it in terms, that would be the thing that would get pollinated in order to make
but
more
the way
stuff.
it moves, it scuttles. It scuttles across the ceiling
So
and the
that was what
walls.
that was.
Yeah.
Because I kind of half missed it. I saw it move and I was like, what the fuck was that? And I kind of didn't like stop thinking about it because I thought it was the alien for a while. And then they were like, no, it's still in its little cage. And I was like, okay, well, never mind then. I think you could call it I think a
They call
plant.
it a flower.
Yeah, I think it's like, I think you could call it a plant in the sense that I think it works plant-like. I think it's just very alive, you know. It
Yeah.
probably has chlorophyll. It's that kind of a thing. It has
I,
plant cells or
yeah.
something. I'm not sure.
I don't know what else you could have done. I mean, there's probably loads of stuff that they could have done in the way it killed, but at the end of the day, if it's going to eat someone,
It
how is a flower it did eat it
ate.
ate
I didn't
okay.
even intend to do that. I just did.
If you're going to eat someone though, like there's only so much you can do with like a flower because
Yeah. It's a
what else are you going
passive.
to do?
It's not, I mean, it does something active, but it is like, as in terms of like an enemy, it's kind of like a passive sort of thing within the world that you can come across and be like, oh, I shouldn't go near that. It's like those fucking things in Half-Life, uh,
Oh yeah, I do know what
with
they mean. It
with
comes
the
out
ropes.
the ceiling and then they just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
drag you up to
Oh,
yeah.
golden ropes.
Yeah.
We can use this to traverse big pits. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
I haven't played Half-Life, but I know
That
of those enemies, but I don't know
it's
the.
it's not it's specifically like a playthrough of half I can't even I don't know if it's like a playthrough of Half-Life. It was like a sort of modded version of it where this guy had like all these different Dr. Comas and they would talk to him all the time. I think they were all voiced by his friends. It's very funny. I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called, but I will find it for you.
Okay, thank you.
You know, there's some logic there. That is a more acceptable.
Look, Gordon, a rope. We could use. Help me, Gordon.
Somebody out there knows what I'm talking about. They're great videos. Very silly.
So the flower ate Siberian, which was satisfying. I quite liked
Woo.
that, and it's still out there. The little passive comment right at the end with from Arush, talking to Wendy, saying, "Well, the eyeball and the flower got away, but they can't hurt us anyway." So the
Mm.
flower's still out there.
Just hanging out, just vibing, ready to eat anybody else that comes by. There
Going
were
through my notes.
5 alien things that they picked up, right?
Yes.
You got the plant, you got the ticks that suck people's blood, you
Yep.
got the aliens themselves,
Yep.
you got the flying
Fly.
things that eat the
The essence.
inorganic material. What's the other one?
The eye.
Oh, the eyeball, of course. I kind of forgot about it, like in terms of all the other ones. It's
Because
kind of its own thing at this point.
it sort of is. It set itself apart from everything else, apart from the Xenomorph, obviously. But like,
Mm.
there's like the three. meh. Like not like meh. They still cool, but like
General pieces of flora and fauna,
yeah, like the fly, the ticks, and the flower are just
things that
there.
exist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they will attack when they have the opportunity.
Hmm.
The eye and the Xeno are intelligent beings. I'm not saying
Hmm.
the others aren't intelligent, but like in a measured way, but like the
Yeah.
yeah, those ones are. So the
Mm.
eye. Ah, Joe fucking needs to die.
I wrote, Joe, if you end up with an eyeball in your face, then it's your fault. Which is my big 180 from the beginning of the season, where I was like, I really hope Joe doesn't die too quickly. Now I'm like, good lord, uh, you're the plot armor. I then followed it up immediately with Joe's plot armor strikes again.
I mean, fair play to him. He did the first bit okay, locked
Mm,
himself in the sheep
mm,
cage. But then the eye gets into the feeding hatch and it's like, oh shit, did he get out? And then it flings itself at Joe, and Joe puts his hands up like Nibs did
mhm,
earlier in the season,
mhm.
and he's still and then Wendy
Wendy
manages,
is his plot armor.
yeah,
That's like this is what we really need to get to at this point, is that Wendy's like exists to be Joe's plot armor. As long as Wendy is around and favors Joe, Joe will not die. So my thought, if we look forward to a season two, will be probably that she's going to turn on him, and that's when he dies.
and he should turn on her as well. He feels like he already sort of is. It's
Kind of
just
half has, yeah. He's not really convinced about the whole thing.
yeah, he's sort of like, I don't know about this, Marcy. That fight scene, well, it wasn't really a fight scene, but like the trying to get to Joe was pretty
Mm,
cool.
hmm
He got slapped on the floor, and then he tried to get to Joe again, and then
mm.
Wendy kicks it away. So Wendy's just saving him at
Yep.
all points. But then the eyeball gets away,
Yeah.
and what does it do, Katie?
This genuinely shocked me because I was like, why did I keep cutting back to Arthur's dead body on the beach? He's dead. Oh, so it turns out the eyeball can take dead people. I wasn't expecting that. I just assumed that it needed living material.
I had dead people with no lung, I'm guessing, as well, a
Well,
destroyed lung at least, and a big hole in his chest, and a crab
poor
sat on him.
Arthur. He can't even rest. Doesn't even get to be dead. Now his body's being piloted around.
I'm kind of glad that
We get more of him.
we get more of him
Yeah, no,
though.
fair.
I know he's not Arthur anymore. The acting performance that he's gonna have to make.
Yeah, that's gonna be sick, to be fair.
Like he's been the sweetest, most wholesome man in the entirety of the Alien universe, and
Hmm.
now he's gonna be an asshole with an eye.
I mean, yeah, well, we did say that the eyeball was evil, didn't we?
He's probably
Yeah.
evil.
I was just like, arsehole feels like the wrong word for some reason. Like,
Yeah.
because arsehole almost feels like just intentionally moody. This is like calculated and sneaky, and um I really do hope we get to hear it talk
Yes. Same.
because it's been set up at this point. So I want to hear what it has to say because it sounds like it's got some interest. It's got things to say, and it really wanted to find something that it could communicate through.
Yeah.
Because it's got thoughts and whatnot. I'm assuming it's only going to take Arthur around until it does find something that actually has a living body. Because Arthur's body's it's gonna rot. He
Yeah.
can't use it forever.
That circulatory system has been
Well and truly
interrupted.
stopped. It's
But I do want to see that and that like transition part of me wants it, and like this is like pie in the sky thinking,
Mm,
but part of me wants it to like clean itself up
mhm.
and make it look like Arthur's become is just alive again, just and just like try and trick everybody. I know that won't work, but
Mhm.
part of me wants to see that attempt.
Greetings, fellow humans. I sure do like hanging out with other humans and talking about things like money.
I like the idea of it turning up and trying to pretend to be Arthur in front of Sylvia, but in the most like horrifying way possible, where it's like limping weirdly, and it's like, it's me, darling, I've come home. Like, "Oh." In related news, I want to go on to the bit when it comes to Cavalere and the eyeball, because I'm still hoping that that eyeball ends up in Cavalere. I think that's its ultimate goal. I really think it really wants to get in that big old brain of his.
Yeah.
But the bit at the beginning of the episode, like you were talking about, where Atom's doing the whole like exposition dump, and he's basically going, "We should leave," and meanwhile, Boy Cavalier's going, "Oh, alien eyeball, you're my only true friend. I want to hear all your secrets. I wish you could talk to me." I just enjoyed it. Meanwhile, it's still there in the sheep, like, fucking get me at him. Come on, let me
Yeah.
out. Get me at him. Let's go.
Boy K says, "How attached are you to your eyeballs? To you?"
And he's like, sir?
So-
And then he's like, no, I don't think I should give you anybody too strong. That would be a bad idea. And then, which is obviously the moment he realizes he should go get Joe. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I would probably get to that point.
He doesn't like Joe, and he hasn't liked Joe, but he also made him a cyborg, so like a partial cyborg with with his lungs. So he's made him stronger than he used to be.
Do you think Joe has the ability to like hold his breath for a really long time now because he's got like super lungs?
I mean, maybe.
I don't really know what goes into the process of having to hold your breath route. Is that actually to do with your lung capacity, or is it like
I don't know.
I've absolutely no idea.
I'm not a doctor.
I'm neither am I. I just watch a lot of doctor shows.
Part of me thought you were going to transition into, no, well, he won the Emmy for the Pip.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I was
Right.
being good because it's not the point of this podcast, and I already did that on my own.
Boy Cavalier then.
Skipping around.
Oh boy.
I did love the confirmation that he has like severe ADHD. That just really cracked me up. It's like, listen, with ADHD as severe as he is, I'm like, yo, neurodivergent can.
A defining symptom of ADHD is impulse control.
I mean, it makes sense for him.
It does make sense. I was like, yeah, that I don't know why I didn't say that myself, frankly, but yeah, of course he has ADHD. It's supposed
Impulse
to.
control, you know?
Oh,
Impulse
no,
control.
impulse control.
Yeah.
I loved that whole bit where Kirsch is like, you are acting emotionally, think rationally. And meanwhile, Boy Cavalier's like, you're acting emotionally. He said, acting emotionally. I also really liked, this is like so apropos really nothing, but that whole sequence where he's like sitting in his chair and he's looking at all the security feeds and whatnot.
Mhm.
The camera that was clearly mounted on the back of the chair to like follow as they were turning around either way, because you could see it shake when he like hits it in certain ways. I was like, that's fun. I just like that as a filmmaking technique. I really enjoyed it. Small little thing. You know, that's it.
So he goes to see the Lost Boys in the cage. He already sort of knows that Wendy's controlling technology.
I do think that facial journey he gave when she opened the door with a click of her fingers was one of my favorite things in
He's
this
like,
entire episode.
Oh,
Where he's both like absolutely terrified and going, okay, that's really fucking neat, actually.
when he goes to see them and tells that story about how he's a 6-year-old kid building his own synth, I'm assuming that he was a very rich boy because, like, how's he got the materials for synth?
I assumed he was a scavenger. That was my first thought. Yeah, I thought the idea was that he was resourceful enough to find the materials himself to make his own synth. I'm not suggesting that the first synth that he made was like. Hang on, I'm having to remember. The first synth he made wasn't the guy, the dad figure, was it?
Yeah,
it
it
was
was.
like, oh, it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. Then maybe I don't know. I just assumed that he kind of managed to scrounge it together and make it look good off of his own back, because that's kind of his whole deal. Is that he's so smart he can do anything.
Well, that's what he said anyway. He said that the distinguished gentleman became his father and the figurehead of the company.
I wonder if it started sort of like fine, and then he was able to sort of spruce it up into something like way more realistic over time.
Yeah.
Because synths did exist. I think the whole thing was that he was able to build his own.
Mhm.
So I can see him managing to like pull together parts and doing it that way. I don't know. That was just my immediate assumption, apparently based off of nothing.
But he killed his dad, or he got
He did.
someone to do it for him. Which
Well,
he
it
got a
sounds like he got the
synth.
synth to do it. Yeah.
That was a reveal. He's
I would not a surprising one though.
no.
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
We always knew he was sort of a psychopath, but now part of that would have been self-preservation for him because he doesn't. If if his dad's going to hit him being a drunk, then
Mm.
he's going to destroy his planet-sized brain.
Mm.
So, self-preservation.
At no point during that story did I suddenly go, oh my God, this guy's a monster. I went, yeah,
Well,
fair enough.
we already kind of know he's a monster. Now it's another
Well, it was more
string to that
like the
bow.
way that he put the story. I was kind of like, well, abusive father. What else are you gonna do?
So then skipping forward to the end cage scene,
Mm.
he's strung up like he's on a crucifix for some reason.
I think it's more to be like, it could, because of like the whole Lost Boys thing. I was imagining him like, I'm like picturing a jungle and like, oh, we've got to put him somewhere. We're gonna kind of like like hang him up. Basically, it's like, look at our prize. Like that's
Mm,
the kind of vibe that I'm looking of. I mean, it could be that like. I'm almost imagining like a cauldron underneath him or like a big
mm.
fire pit, and they're just sort of like kind of turning around and being like, woo, that kind of a thing.
Lost Boys again, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the vibe I'm getting was getting off of it.
No, his facial journey in that end scene where he gets talked to like shit for the first time from
Hmm.
Wendy, and he's like sort of surprised,
Hmm.
proud, and then like hurt and
Hmm.
asked and like, are you gonna let her talk to me like that? To Atom, and Atom can't fucking do anything because he's like just
Oh, at the moment he kind of, and he was looking at everybody around that as well, and then he kind of tried to push towards Atom for it, but it was he was like, "You guys gonna let him talk to me like that?" I'm like, "Yeah, nobody here likes you, dude.
and
You've
then
bought everybody's friendship here. Nobody actually cares.
and Marrow hates your guts, as we already
All
know.
right, it's your guts."
The final thing where Wendy goes, "Oh, now we rule." There's like a weird sense of pride in his face.
Mm.
It's like, oh, I knew you'd be good. I knew you'd be
I
something
think there's
better.
and in that way that men like that act. It's like, oh, I did that.
Hmm. I
To
made you.
taking ownership of like somebody else's accomplishments of sort of like, oh, I made you, and therefore this is my win, because he can't ever conceive of himself as being beaten by any way, shape, or form, apart from when that eyeball inevitably gets inside his brain.
The last thing on the boy Cavalier, him skipping down the corridor.
I keep thinking about that. It's just such a just sort of like, hey, I'm by myself. Can somebody come find me, please?
I give you £1 million. He's just wearing like a bulletproof vest and his normal clothes and still no shoes.
No shoes. No shoes.
And I did like at the end of that scene, Joe finally knocking him the fuck out.
That was fun. Deserved.
Yeah.
And I mean, but also specifically deserved for Joe to do that because, he did steal his fucking lung, which was, as far as we could tell, fine. I did want to mention a couple of things about some of the specific Lost Boys.
Okay, let's do that.
I liked the scene where Curly, whose name is Jane, which probably feels like the most pointed of everything. Like, she just is called Jane. It's not even like they picked a name for her. Her name's Jane. So now she's specifically Marcy's like daughter. This is where we're at with that. But I did like the fact that they came to a point in the end where they're besties now. I like this. They should be. She deserves better.
That whole start of her in the cage and she's like, "What the fuck did you guys do
Mm.
to let why am I in here? I'm the favorite. I'm
Bless
the
her.
fucking favorite."
I liked the fact that this is the most childish she's seemed.
Hmm.
We'll see, because and the inverse of that when it came to Wendy, where she seems the most adult she seemed all season as well, where she's like the most understanding of sort of like how fucked things are and like how much they deserve better than like the way that they've got. So the sort of contrast between the two of them having, I'm going to call her Jane because that's her name and she asked for that.
Hmm.
Having Jane be like, no, I didn't rat you guys out, but I'm the favorite. Why aren't you all like, I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here and all this sort of stuff. And you're like, that's a child. But then sometimes when Wendy talks now, I'm like, she seems like an adult now. Not all the way, not all the time. But there's moments where she seems far more mature than she was at the beginning of the season, which is
Yes.
quite the big, drastic grow up period. And then my last point on the Lost Boys was just I'm never hearing anything bad about Smee ever again. I love him. He's the sweetest boy in the world.
After last episode,
Yeah.
I've turned the corner on Smee. I still don't think like that he's called Smee. Can we
Yeah.
just call him Chris?
Yeah, that's
everyone
true.
does.
We should call him Chris. His name is Chris.
Turned the corner, and I kind of liked that. Although he's still besties with
Mm,
Arush,
mm.
like he's a bit annoyed at him still. Like
Yeah,
he hurt his feelings.
yeah.
He said Arthur was going to be fine. He lied to him, and
Mm.
he's not happy about it. But we're still
But
besties.
he's loyal.
Yeah,
And he's looking after him still. And God, poor Slightly, he's really not doing well. He's gone real dark.
he really has.
He's gone dark. Ugh. They
Oh.
stole his whimsy. Thank God Chris still has his whimsy. Otherwise, I don't know what we'd be doing with us. But it was that little moment in the cage when he's doing the counting for the fake self-destruct, which was like, oh, that's a really nice little reveal, that the way that they did that. And then when I can't remember exactly what they were talking about, but he does he gives her a hug. That's just his go-to. He's like, oh, you're sad, so I'll give you a hug. And I'm like, oh, he's so
Adult
cute.
hug.
He's so cute. He just wants to look after them. Nothing bad's allowed to happen to him.
He's probably going to be the next one to go.
No.
If we get a season 2, which I don't think we've had it confirmed yet.
No, not yet. But I would be surprised if we didn't. Haven't actually seen anything about how well it's doing, to be honest, though.
But it feels like he's the next in line. Well, I might be wrong, but it does feel like that.
I don't want anything bad to happen to him ever again. If everybody else dies, I want him to make out and to go just be nice to people in the world.
Not Nibs, though. Nibs.
Nibs really needs to stay. But
confined, yes. The smile that she gave Sylvia when she came up behind her was it's like the
That's
smile
awesome.
out of Smile.
Yeah.
It was so, oh, she's chaos.
I love her. It's so fun, honestly. And the moment they were like, hey, Nibs, off you go. And she was like, yeah.
She was already on her way. She was like,
Yeah.
she was already on her way. She just
She
beat the
was
shit
like,
out of that guy in the
Mhm.
cage. And then she was like, I'm going next one.
you need a chaos element, and I enjoy the fact that she is that chaos element very, very much.
So, Morrow, Kirsch, where do we start? Let's just go with the fight.
I'll start here. Because I waited a day because I got so into my my routine where I was like, I could watch it on Wednesday, but that feels wrong now. So I watched it on Thursday because that's now apparently my day that I watch it. I saw some stuff on tumblr.com and I thought he was dead for a while. Yes, because this gif I saw was him lying on the thing, just sort of looking very not moving. And I was like, oh man, I can't believe they killed Kirsch. And also, somebody in another server I was in decided to post something with no spoiler tags, being like, oh, so it turns out Kirsch is just an idiot. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? I don't know. And then I kind of watched the episode and went, I don't know where you got that idea from.
No.
He just sort of
Why would he be an idiot? I don't understand.
I don't know. I thought he did something really stupid, but I think he just got overwhelmed by Morrow, who was able to beat the shit out of him.
I mean, he threw him on a table. He got a back
Broke his
broken, but
back.
in the end,
He did win.
Kirsch kind of won.
Yeah. And then and then Arush and Chris came in and he was like, boys, tie him up. And they went, okay. And they tied him up. I do feel a bit bad because I feel that's their dad, But also they are in like, we're not gonna take
We're not gonna take it.
yeah, I did. I don't know why I got there was the only thing. But yeah, I don't know. I just felt bad. Poor Kirsch. He's not doing well.
Yeah.
He was still being sassy whilst upside down and sort of
It's
bleeding
like
out of his mouth.
Yeah, it's that synth milk thing.
Mm.
The John Henry hammer versus the machine analogy sort of worked here as well. Because Morrow did win the first fight, but in the end, the machine got to it.
Because he's like upside down, having trouble moving around, and he's like, didn't he die of exhaustion?
Timothy Oliphant put in some great fucking work in this series, man.
He's just so great. He is definitely one of the best parts of the whole thing, as is Babu, who continues to just be one of the best actors in the entire show. Maybe the best. Might
Potentially.
even I would probably I'd be up there as saying the best. I love his energy. I love the fact that like Joe woke him up and he was like, "Hey, let me look at you." He's like, "Get the fuck off me, you little."
Don't touch me.
I was also kind of I understand why he took off the metal casing that was like covering his hand, but I'm like, that thing's kind of effective.
Mm.
I think you should just keep it. It's like,
I mean, it couldn't transform, I guess, but like
mm,
it's still a pretty good weapon.
it's a pretty good weapon, and like he really smashed that guy's face in. Um, Not the whole way though, because Joe was like, "I'm going to save everyone we can," and he's like, "I don't care." Oh yeah, that was the other thing. He went, "I'm going to burn this place to the ground," and I went, "Yes, King, do it. I believe in you." And then he kind of fucked it immediately.
He went for the person he thought, or the thing that he thought was the most dangerous to him at that time, and I get
Mm.
that. And you got to
Yeah,
take out the big boys first.
yeah,
And I just want to shout out Timothy Oliphant's ability to be a ragdoll. It's very satisfying.
yeah. It was some good physical acting all around, really.
Yeah, especially
Um,
in the cage at the end. He's
mhm,
high up and he's like,
Yeah, I
enjoyed
liked
it.
it. I liked it a lot. I did enjoy that whole fight. I was watching him choke him out, and I was like, if his arm's up like that, I don't think that would. I don't think that that's how that works. Just
Yeah.
like he's like this, and you can't really get. I was
Maybe
just
more
watching, going,
pressure
I
on the
don't.
neck, maybe
I
like just a little
know,
bit on the side.
I know, but you need to. I don't.
I
It's just
don't
I'm
know
like
things about
I'm just
fighting.
looking at going. I don't think that that's how that. I don't know if that's how that works. I'm pretty sure they do that specifically so you can't do that to people in I was gonna say practice situations, but that's not really what I'm learning environments. There you go. That's
But yeah,
probably a better way of putting it. Practice situation. Fuck's sake.
practice situations. What the hell?
I don't have my words aren't working, Ian.
That was absolute diabolical. I can't speak.
As much as I'd like to talk more about Morrow, we've not really. There wasn't a ton of him in the episode. He just sort of got let out, beat a guy half to death, tried to beat up Kirsch. Kind of half got there, then got choked out, and then ended up back in a cage.
Hmm.
That was like his whole deal.
As long as he's not dead, which he's not dead, there's still enough room for him to grow because like Utani's on his way, on
Hmm.
her way, the
Hmm.
young Utani,
Hmm.
which I think he called her.
Hmm.
So there's some relationship stuff that he can have next season if we get one. There is one more thing before we get onto the episode rankings and like a brief
Hmm.
overview of season. The Xeno dog. I don't like it.
No.
The very fact that it's so sort of obedient
Hmm.
means that like the people in Wendy's circle are
Hmm.
not scared at all
Hmm.
anymore. Even Joe is only a little bit wary
Hmm.
of it. It's he stands a little bit further back from the rest of them. It's sort of the leash has sort of gone against it, and I hope that that will clear itself up after the next season
Hmm.
if we get another season. But if it doesn't, if we don't get another season, then that is like sort of detrimental to the Xenomorph brand. I really don't like it.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I also am with Lily on the point where now at the end of the season, I don't know why this is set before the Nostromo. I don't think there's any need for it.
I don't think there's any need for it, but I don't have any specific requirements of where it needs to be set
I
either.
don't think it needs to be set like that far afterwards either, is the only thing. I just think that specifically setting it as a prequel doesn't make sense. Like, only because I don't think it's done anything to justify where it is. And you kind of need to with a prequel. Anything afterwards, you can kind of
Yeah,
flub for whatever you want. But like, if you're making something a prequel, that needs to have a narrative resonance, and there is none.
yeah.
There is no narrative resonance. There's no need for it to be set before the Nostromo bumps into the Xenomorph in Alien. So I at this point I'm just sort of like,
I also don't think, and this is me. I don't think that there's a narrative reason for it to be not before it either. It's just a place in time because it's got nothing really to do with the Nostromo. So you could put it like 10 months after the Nostromo. You
but
can
I
put
feel
it
like
10 months before, and it still makes sense either way. It just
I
for
think
me,
you
it
end up with more like narrative like reasoning if you do it afterwards. Like I feel like it would be so easy to be like, well, they want to do this specifically because of what happened to Nostromo. Like there's like a cause and effect thing that makes way more sense if you do set it afterwards compared to trying to set it before and having like not really any reason for it. Especially as they're just sort of wandering around now. They're just there, hanging out, vibing.
Let me posit one reason. Like,
Hmm.
just one. What if Utani the Younger spots an obedient xenomorph that is taking out her whole Utani army that on this island, right? And she gets away. Wouldn't that be the most important thing to go and get? And to get your even a mining vessel or a haulier to try and get another one because you haven't got any left on Earth.
You've got a dirty, whorish mouth. That's what you have.
I don't know. I just don't think it. Lily's not here, so I have to be the one to voice the opinion. I think is the only thing. I
And
just don't. I don't think it works well enough. I don't find that satisfying in any real way. But I feel like afterwards you could be like kind of do whatever the hell you like, and it would work fine. I don't know. It just
I,
doesn't. It just doesn't. I don't think it works for me. I think that's it, really.
and I'm with you. I don't think it this season definitely has not told us why this needed to be a prequel. It
No.
hasn't, and it could be set wherever in the 100 years around the Nostromo, and it
Yeah.
still sort of makes sense.
Yeah.
But it hasn't said why it shouldn't be a prequel yet either. And I think that's a
Yeah.
problem. It's a problem because I kind of want that answer straight up so that we everyone's on the same page and everyone can just sort of accept it as this is where it is and it's because of this reason so that we don't need to have this conversation about why is it a prequel and we're still
Yeah.
having it in the third season even
Yeah.
though there could be reasons for it in the
Yeah.
fourth season
Yeah.
if it gets that far. I don't know. I don't know.
No, I think
Just
you're right.
lay
I think
all
it.
that stuff to
I just
rest.
feel like you absolutely could have given a reason for that, like
Hmm.
off the bat. And I think that then you could have built on that over the course of time to make it more, can't think of the word, but like kind of you can make it more dramatic, I guess, over the course of time because you build up a sense of like dread for like because usually if you make something a prequel, it's because it's pointing towards the the thing it's like prequeling basically and going like the reason we're doing this is because it has direct influence on the events of what happens here and it casts certain things in a new light, right? And right now we have no concept as to why that might be, which means that we're not getting that level of like it's not dramatic irony, but it's like that's kind of the vibe that I'm like looking for, I guess. I guess it kind of is actually. You're not building any of that anyway. You're not getting it a sense of like it doesn't deepen the understanding of the original
Hmm.
in any way, shape, or form, which is kind of what I need a prequel to do. Otherwise, you can't haven't really justified its existence.
All right, let's go to the episode rankings then. Katie, what would you give this episode?
I know we just spent a whole episode being like, it's weird that this is the end of the season, but I did give it an 8.5 because I actually
Oh,
really enjoyed it. Like
nice.
as an episode, I was like, that was fun. I don't think, yeah, it was fun. I haven't at no point gotten to a point where I felt like it was like a 9 in this season, but I think that was closer, just in terms of like, you know what, I had a good time.
I give it an 8. Now it's recontextualized as a end of season rather than an
Hmm.
end of series.
Mm.
After the first watching, I think I was more on a oh man, this sucks. Like
Mm.
not like that's a whole episode, but just how it ended.
Yeah.
This kind of sucks. I was on like a 7, a 6.5 type thing, just because I was so put out by
Hmm.
the way it ended, and the kind of safe, not killing off any big main characters in that final episode. But it was fun,
Yeah.
and like as I think of a season as a whole of where we've come from and where we got to. in 8 episodes, that's a remarkable turnaround where these characters have journeyed to and from. They did it pretty well without a lot of friction. And we had a prequel episode in that as well, so it's really 7 episodes. This episode in particular, I still have problems with the Xenodog. I do not like it. But in general, I just like this series, and it's been fairly consistent for me for the whole series that I've just really liked it. It's not like the best series in the world. It's not hitting those heights of like your Andor. It's not getting to that level, but it's been consistently of a good level.
Yeah.
I've just really enjoyed it.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I hope we get a second series, especially after that finale. But we'll have to wait and see. All right, that's it for then. For the Watching Now Alien Earth show. We'll be seeing you again at some point for another Watching Now series. If you like this, then like, subscribe, comment on all of our wrong views about this episode and all of our right views, but probably the wrong views because that's what gets him engagement. Consider becoming a member of Couch Soup if you can possibly afford it and support independent creators like us. But for now, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
We're talking around a load of stuff here,
Yeah.
but the general consensus is yeah.
I don't need.
I wasn't going to react to it until you reacted to it yourself, and I was like, I can't let that go now.
Took half a second to process. Like, why did I say that? Why did it come out like that? Do you want to see something?
Yeah.
Got nothing to do with the episode. Can you tell what I'm going to Comic-Con as?
Are you doing a Mayao cosplay?
A little bit. I got my braces. I've got this. I bought a stripy shirt. My friend is doing CL. I actually love this hat.